fair, 2 years left on his deal. They probably didn't expect anyone to activate his release clause. Decent little deal for Spurs there. Is there any other update? Pick up Leon Bailey. This is the youth we wanted, right? You went Middlesbrough alone. That's tough. Make sure you make it back. There is a burgeoning sense at Arsenal that they are gearing up for an unprecedented summer. That was on the 6th of February this year. And there's still time, I guess. But have you not seen any unprecedented summer stuff yet? Maybe you have. Maybe you have. I just want to know. Let me know in the comments as well as hitting the like button. So yeah, so good. I got it up there twice. Arsenal have a lot of PSR headroom, so they could do more, but they're tight on your way for financial fair play rules. That was by David Ornstein, which how was we expected to do unprecedented stuff then? And you look at our wages to revenue ratio, people. Now, clearly, like we've got 53%. We're not the worst, but this tells you that clearly we need to move some players on. And this is something that we didn't just figure out this year, not even just from a footballing point of view. Because from a footballing point of view, Trossard, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, there's a lot of players that you could make a case for. Wages. Like, I know I'm being naive, but we've seen apparently Zinchenko's even, and from a Zinchenko point of view, this makes sense and it's reality. But we're seeing Zinchenko's call to run down his contract. Nelson would prefer a loan, and I'm not getting at you, Nelson. I hear it. Control your future how you want to control it. But you see where we're finding ourselves. They shouldn't be able to be in those kind of situations, people. Arsenal are hoping to sell several players, but have made limited progress thus far. Potential buyers will be hoping Arsenal will blink first and reduce their demands, and the game of brinksmanship continues. Naturally, it's all fun and games. Yeah, but a good reputation, get us decent money. But if you are genuinely trying to either get on loan or buy the Fabio Vieiras, the Reece Nelsons, the Kiviors, this one and that one, you're going to say to us, well, mate, time's ticking. We do hear that you lot need to sell to buy for whatever reason. We think you lot are bluffing a bit. What's going on there, geezer? So it is what it is. And I must admit, I didn't think we'd have flushed all of the players out, but I didn't think we'd be here on the 19th of August still talking about some of the same names. Arsenal had been looking at Eze all summer. There were mixed messages, but the talk in the last 2 weeks has been that they prefer a left winger after sales. Well, make sure you get that because you needed to get both. If not that, it is what it is. Once again, Arsenal are not in the race for Eze, which is dark. Spurs find themselves in a one-horse race for Eze, and while no agreement was reached after further talks on Monday, conversations continue, and there remains a good chance the move will happen. The move's going to happen. The man wants it. It is what it is. It's happening, isn't it? And he's a bloody Bobby Dazzler for them. Stuttgart's talks with Arsenal for Fabio Vieira are centered on a loan deal with an obligation if certain performance-led targets are met. A fee in the region of 17 million has been discussed. I do like if you're not going to get him gone permanently, a loan with an obligation. But if certain performance-led targets are met, what are these? X amount of league starts, X amount of league appearances. Because you know that could be great because it did work with Tavares. But if these things are not met, then next year you've got to deal with, assuming Nelson, to be fair, goes on loan and not permanent, but you've got to deal with Nelson again, Fabio Vieira again, potentially other players. So even Kivior, he's linked with a loan away from the club. Trossard is probably one of those that you'd expect to be one of the first to go, if any. Trossard is most likely to leave Arsenal currently with Brentford, Aston Villa, and several foreign clubs having shown an interest in the winger. He's actually been linked with Inter, which Lookman is not going to Inter anymore. We've been linked with Lookman. Trossard is linked with Inter. I'm not saying these things are not logical, and Inter would be a great club to sign for in a great country like Italy, lifestyle, all of that kind of stuff. But it feels like creative journalism. If you still got hope for Rodrigo, Guillaume Balaguer said Real Madrid insist Arsenal have not made an approach for Rodrigo yet. There have been no offers for the winger. Real Madrid will accept less for him as the window draws to a close. But as it stands, nobody expects him to leave, folks. On that, apparently we've been given a free run at Rodrigo after Manchester City pulled out of the race to sign the Real Madrid star. That is probably because we've seen Silvinho isn't going to Spurs, at least at this moment in time. Man City made Rodrigo their top attacking target in the closing weeks of the window, with Pep personally pushing for the player. City needed to sell Silvinho before buying Rodrigo. No, City, we're not having that. We're not having the sell to buy gimmick because we can't get it. You don't want to do that. Guillaume Balaguer reports that won't be happening now as negotiations with Spurs failed. Silvinho will be staying at City, and as a result, City are no longer in for Rodrigo. This potentially gives Arsenal a free run at Rodrigo. They're going to still plan to sign one more outside attacker who can drift to the left before the end of the transfer window. Eze is the other main target, while Ademola Lookman has also entered the list of targets. A transfer for Rodrigo would not come cheap, though. Did anyone think it'd be cheap? Madrid are reported to be demanding 100 to 120 million euros to sell the attacker. Rodrigo is available for transfer this summer after falling down the pecking order at Madrid and failing to impress new manager Xabi Alonso thus far. To be fair, though, maybe it's the manager's game. He did say he's counting on Rodrigo, and I think he said it in a completely different context, but he was speaking about Real Madrid have to work a lot harder and drop the egos. Out of all the stars, I'm not saying Bellingham's got an ego, Vinicius and Mbappe. When you consider those names and more, and Rodrigo, he's the one that seems the most humblest, quote unquote, even though he's a Galactico, if that makes sense. He works his socks off. So we'd have to see, man. But listen, if you're not going to rise up 100 to 120 million euros, if you're not going to give him 12 million euros net per salary, what are we doing here? What are we speaking about? Lookman is back in Italy and ready to resume training with Atalanta after ending his 2-week strike. He's been able, him and Atalanta is turned messy. He even took it to social media and was getting at them. So we'll have to see. Romano has said that we could be in for him. Romano, believes that if Arsenal sell Trossard, then Lookman could potentially join the Gunners. The season for Atalanta kicks off on Sunday. Lookman had his heart set on a move to Inter, but Atalanta rejected an offer of 42 million euros plus 3 million euros in add-ons. Are Arsenal going to go that far for him? Apparently, we are long-term admirers of Lookman and made an approach in the summer of 2024. So we'll have to see how that develops. I think the funniest rumor was linking us with Garnacho, if I'm honest with you. What's this, man? Man United to steal 30 million euros signing from Arsenal. They've been linked with Ogome after conceding apparently defeat with Belemba. But again, we have not gone for him. Like, we went for Norgard. Ogome is decent, though. Be a good signing for Man United. What does that mean for Kobe Mainoo, though? Anyways, Romano said FC Porto remain interested in Kivior after Arsenal already turned down a bid in July. He's already high on Porto's list for new centre-back, but Arsenal value Kivior as an important player. It is not an easy deal, people. Silly season. Arsenal ready to make a move for Barcelona midfielder Frankie de Jong when his contract expires next summer. Yeah, right. Arsenal transfer boost as European sides queuing up ship for Jakub Kivior. He's a target for AC Milan and Porto, as we discussed. We know he's only really got a run in the side when there's been injuries. Him and a number of players were left out of the matchday squad against Man United for the first game of the season. AC Milan and Porto are understood to both be interested in signing the centre-back before the transfer window closes this summer. Arsenal and Arteta would be happy to keep hold of Kivior, but could be tempted into selling if an offer is too good to turn down. Kivior may also express a desire to leave the Emirates Stadium if he's going to struggle for game time this season. He's been here since 2023, 20 million. He hasn't nailed down a full-time spot. Porto, I don't know if they're making progress. AC Milan apparently hold interest. Kivior is one of several players that could be gone. Lokonga, Vieira, Karl Hein, who's been linked with Levante. Big up you lot who watched the video I put out in the morning. Zinchenko, Nelson could still leave. The future of Trossard is uncertain. The Belgium has not signed a new contract, and Arsenal have been scouting left wingers. Should be scouting them regardless. Romano has predicted Lookman to Arsenal could be a transfer to watch out for, as we've discussed. Maybe that could be a late one. Doesn't appear there's anything new there. Charles Watson, court of side, has spoken about Trossard. I think Leandro Trossard's situation at Arsenal at the moment falls into the same category as several players in the squad as we head towards the end of the transfer window. Arsenal are not actively trying to push him towards the exit door. In fact, we know they offered him the chance to sign a new contract over the past 12 months. But so far, that contract has not been signed. And if a good offer arrives for him between now and the end of the window, the club would be open to the idea of him leaving. But as of yet, nothing appears to be close when it comes to Trossard exit. And if nothing happens, then Arteta will be more than happy for the Belgium international to stick around. We'll have to see what's going on there, people. So it's more of the same. Something went wrong and it's not your fault. Okay, whatever that means. We were linked with a centre-back earlier in the window. Apparently, Crystal Palace are considering Rennes's centre-back, Jeremy Jacquin, and they would have to pay around 35 million. I mean, he get a lot of games, especially with Gurley looking like he's leaving. What do you lot make of these comments from Gary Neville? Me personally, I don't trust Gary Neville. I'll be real. He knows what he's doing. He knows that we know you've got an agenda. So you're making it like you're back in Arsenal. So it looks like we don't have a leg to stand on. Arsenal are a title-winning team that have not yet won a title. They need to change that. Where are you at with that? Because I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I understand the logic, and I don't think it's wrong, but I don't think it's right. How can you be a title-winning team and you ain't won a title? You can't be a Gallus if you're a Virgin. It don't make sense. So I get it, but it don't make sense. It really doesn't. We're a good team. We're not a great team. We're a good team. We're not a winning team. And that is when we do that, then we can be in that. That's just me, though, man. I welcome you lot. There are very few teams that can go 1-0 up and feel comfortable in their skin to be able to focus and concentrate for 90 minutes. That's typical Arsenal. I mean, I saw that David Beckham and Paul Scholes' kids support Arsenal. Boy, Man United, come get your supporters back. And I think Gary Neville is right. On Arsenal's goal, no, I don't think it's a foul. If Man United want a foul on the goalie, then Cunha grabs Martin Zubimendi. Make up your mind. On our recent record versus the Big Six, this is brilliant. This is everything Arsenal weren't 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. Everything that we wanted them to be, which is true for us. I don't care what you wanted. You definitely didn't want that. You don't support us. You need to be a different one. And Arteta, you did say in the build up to the season, you said the manager that we needed 3, 4 years ago isn't necessarily the one we need now. Please make sure there's something to celebrate in May, because our women's team sacked their manager and won the Champions League. My thing being, everything should be on the table until we do something groundbreaking, something we haven't seen before, something that hasn't been done since we've got ourselves at this conversation. When you think of the old Arsenal sides, they were tough. They had great back lines. They could see games out 1-0. They kept clean sheets in big matches. It come like everyone forgets why we've got to chant 1-0 to the Arsenal, but it's not about the past. The thing about the old days, those are the old days. And I think Saka's bang on the money when he said, we are happy with the 3 points to come away from Old Trafford with a win. It's not a great performance. We were not up to our usual standards. The basics, sloppy giveaways. Our decision-making was not great, and that gave Man United a lot of momentum. We did not get punished for it, but we cannot do it every game. So I think everybody, the fans, the players, the manager, everybody's on brand with that. So it is what it is. On Gyökeres, I was impressed with him. He battled for us. It was tough. I thought he did well. His performance gives us something to build on, and I'm sure it will help him next week. He has slotted in well. So have the other guys, people. So yeah, man. It is what it is. And apparently Gyökeres has been given the penalty duty, like made the penalty guy. I don't know what you call it. He's just going to take penalties for Arsenal. Come, man, get that golden boot. Get that golden boot. I don't think Arsenal are going to get many penalties, but who knows? TBR Football can exclusively reveal that Inter Milan have now spoken to Arsenal about signing Trossard. Can we please make sure we're smashing those like buttons, people? Inter Milan want to sign Trossard. Again, the Lookman thing didn't bang. He's keen to explore his options at Arsenal. He's not content with a watching brief this season. Trossard, if you want to cut. And at some point, I understand Trossard going can open up the window to bringing in an attacker. I also understand if Eze's out the window, Rodrigo, and I definitely don't want to hear it from you lot. But if they sit there and say we can't bring in a left winger, then I understand Trossard not being moved on. But the very fact that there's been a contract offer, no, Trossard, you do what you want. But from a club perspective, there's been a contract offer. He's not signed it. What's going on? Fair enough, though. Graham Bailey has said that Inter Milan have now asked about signing Trossard before the end of the window. Inter had been attempting to sign Adamola Lookman from their rivals Atalanta, but that deal has now collapsed. Kivio also has interest. So yeah, 2 of our boys could be heading there. Interestingly, Italian sides would ideally like to take Kivio on loan with an option. What did we say was going to be the case? But Arsenal want to sell, and if not, they at least want an obligation to buy included in any loan, which is right. As we've been told throughout the summer, Arsenal and Arteta love Kivio, but they're more than happy to keep him and give him a wage rise. Okay. But the one thing Arsenal can't provide is first team football. And this is what is on offer from a number of clubs should he leave. Kivio did not make the bench on Sunday with Mascara selected ahead of him. And that merely underlined the fact that he's just a squad player for Arsenal. It could have, and it should really. And that could be the prospect, because unless there's injuries, there are going to be a couple of players missing. But surely with him, maybe a move's not close, but there's something. Because I can't imagine why you would have been left out. And but to a degree, I can't remember the Man United, the bench for the Man United game. But I remember sitting on the watch along. I was like, if you did want to get another defender there, who are you dropping out? Like when you looked at that bench, there's no one you was really, really dropping out, really. So that's food for thought. West Ham is stepping up their interest to win the race to sign Fabio Vieira. I mean, really? Seems like he's close to Stuttgart. He has been linked with them before. Come, man, West Ham, make that happen, man. Make that happen. Make that happen. So I don't really believe the West Ham Fabio Vieira thing, people, but you get the point. What's this? Accepting what for you? 17 million. Okay, so if you're not accepting 17 million for Fabio Vieira, forget about it. Apparently, this Davies guy said Arsenal told by Stuttgart to lower their demands for Fabio Vieira. The Germans only want to pay a maximum of 17 million, including add-ons, while Arsenal are eyeing a deal closer to 25 million. Stuttgart are ready to move to other targets if talks break down. As you should. As you should, people. So, yeah, we need to get a move on with sales. We ain't sold no one, man. Ain't really done much in that regard. 116 likes. Can we keep hitting the likes? Subscribe and like, people, as it says there. In fact, you know what? Let's go back into sub-only mode. How do I do that? They're lucky. One of you lot told me yesterday. How the hell do you make this sub-only? Low-key, you lot are lucky. I've started, so I don't want to stop now. Actually, why not? How to make... Nothing, Google. Can't go to your control room. What is this saying? Big up the Twitch gang as well. Go to the control room. Click edit. Click live chat. It wasn't this hard yesterday. Customization. Oh. There we go. There we go. So yeah, we're back now. I take Semenyo. I take him, but he's gonna cost more than Eze. He recently signed a new deal in the summer. The market's going down. The transfer window is winding down. He just signed a new deal. Bournemouth have lost a lot of players, and you know I'm sure they would love to have kept Kepa, Zabani. Well, they loaned Kepa, but Kepa, Zabani, House, and Kirkes. But the double-edged sword of that is they've got bigger cash reserves, and then they're gonna have to go and find someone. Semenyo's got a long throw, and make of that what you will, and he is good at winning headers on top of his evident quality. What a goal it was against Liverpool. We have to do better on Saturday. Why does it look like Rodrigo doesn't have the dog mentality? He seems happy to eat bench at Madrid because of that very reason, essentially. Might be Reece Nelson's season. I know you're joking, and I'd love it to be that, but myth. Absolute myth. 116 likes, you man are moving slow. Can we get to 200 likes? 17 mil after add-ons, joking. It is, but spike the bullet, get the players gone now, man. I must admit, I am tired of seeing the same names linked with moves away, seeing the same conversations being said, and ultimately nothing being done, if I'm honest. If they edged me with Rodrigo, Leao, Eze, and then go for Semenyo, I'm all right. I hear it. We should have signed Igor Paxao left wing. Eze would have been great. Ivan Toney as well as Gyökeres. He's getting money in Saudi. Madueke signing doesn't make any sense. Arteta has to make it make sense. I don't care if we win just 1-0, as long as there's a trophy at the end, as with George Graham era, but I can't see that. Yeah, if you play unattractive football, you have to win. You made United look good Sunday. That's great. We got the 3 points. There was times where we've actually looked worse sometimes getting points off City than when actually we lost to them. That's great. Like, United can take positives from that. We'll keep it moving, bro. Like, big up Fam Zone TV. And you're right. Gary Neville can't outsmart the smart. We know what he's doing. He's trying to do the smart thing, like, oh, you lot can't say I've got an agenda. I've backed you lot. Dead. I don't want to hear that. We know what he is, a slimy cunt, like weasel. Haven't Arsenal got anyone in the academy that is a left wing forward at least as backup to a new signing? Not an out-and-out winger, in my opinion, that's ready, per se. At this point, I can feel myself getting back to how I felt last season in that you might as well. I know it sounds mad, but you might as well just slap Ranieri there. There must be something we could do there. Rodrigo not going anywhere. Of course not. Crazy. We were told we're in for Eze and Rodrigo. For me, the Athletic came out and said Madueke and Eze were separate entities. And we did hear that we want to sell, but there's over an emphasis. Like the new twang clearly is, Champions League FFP. I don't want to hear it, man. Because we're going to, regardless of what we go on and do, even if we're moaning right now and we go and sign people, we know once the market closes, we're going to start seeing articles about how positive cash flow we have. And the cycle continues. January, no one was saying nothing about this. I actually don't hear it because you lot were prepared to go and buy Ollie Watkins. Maybe not for the money they said, but it is what it is. Just signing an actual striker is unprecedented by our standards. You know what? I hear it. DG, hypothetically, do you think KSC would give a manager like Enrique the funds to buy his players? Yeah, especially in this current climate. This climate, yeah. Maybe not when we was doing the austerity thing or when we should have got Klopp, like when Wenger was still here. Now, bro, I'm not being funny. Like, we've got bread, bro. Like, we've got bread. Like, you can sign players. Fair enough. We're not going to get Mbappe and this one and that one. But who has Luis Enrique really signed? I could be wrong. Who has he really signed that ain't really unattainable for anyone else? Carrot Skeeler cost a lot of money, but he was there for everyone. He was there. We spent 105. I love Rice, but you can't tell me Enrique wouldn't have peas. 105 million on Declan Rice, 65 million on Kai Havertz, 30, 40 on Marino. Same fee for about Calafiori, 50 on Madueke. Bro, there'll be bread. You're not gonna have the biggest of bread, but there'll be bread. And maybe not so much this summer. But if Berta gets his act together and starts to show us the Berta that we were told at Atletico Madrid in terms of outgoings, and I know it's not as white and black in that all the money that you get from selling goes into the transfer kitty for incomings. But you get where I'm going. We start selling, it looks healthier. We've got money anyways. We can start doing our thing. Really. Ben Jacobson. Yeah, Leicester duo would have bought silverware. Was mad when City got Mahrez. Bro, Mahrez is one of the biggest non-Arsenal players to have never played for us. I off the top of my head, him, Jabi Alonso, Michael Carrick, Kante as well. We should have grabbed them. Vieira hurt worse than Cole. For years, I was sad about it, and then I found out he didn't want to go. Wenger made that decision. Sometimes we get upset with the wrong people. Cole was the same. Adebayo, the same. And like when you actually look at to why Adebayo did what he did, I can't lie, he's within his right. People are cussing the man's mum. He didn't want to leave Arsenal anyways. We needed bread. There's, you know what they say in life, man. And I think where football's concerned, because of the tribalism, and really, I wouldn't say everybody's just club first. It's all club. There's three sides to every story in life, man. There's your side, my side, and then there's the truth. And that's one thing that's going to go against footballers time after time after time, man. Glazier, I like him. Gasperini, I'm not as hot on him as I used to be. Some of you would know. But yeah, his Atalanta side was good, man. It's actually good. It's actually good. Let's just hope Arteta does what he needs to do this summer, man. And this season. As if you're watching, you have to join Arsenal. How long before the window shuts? How long we got left? 2 weeks. It's the 19th today. Just short of 2 weeks. 1st of September, innit? Which a week's a long time in football. All we can do is hope. For me, I'm not going to lie, it's more blind hope. This transfer window is unprecedented. When have we had a similar or better window? Better? I mean, we got Zubamendi, who I'm biased to, Gyökeres. I was more gassed about the maybe hindsight, could you actually say the year Rice came in? Rice, Timber, Raya. I wouldn't add Kai, but Kai's been one of our top goal scorers, so you could say that. I hear you, but I kind of said I can't. On one hand, I rate the fact that we're addressing areas, but on the other, we've needed to do this already. Unprecedented for me is gas in it. And could you argue the fact that this is unprecedented is probably tells a bit of our issues? It's absolutely ridiculous that we are giving Raheem Sterling on loan again. Surely that's not going to be a thing, man. Nicholas Jackson loan incoming. We end up with Lookman or Sancho. Bit harsh on Lookman to throw him into that one. I don't think Lookman is the Messiah. I don't think Rafa Leao is, but I'm at the pro. Just bring one in it. Bring them. Raheem Sterling loan, second loan, anyone. You know what? Don't shoot the messenger. But when we did get Raheem Sterling, did we not get to a semi-finals? Did we not see two young players come through the academy? Is his son not playing for Arsenal? You never know. He needs time to adapt. We can't write someone off after one season. It's a World Cup here.